Frustration, the word at Portman Road today. Andy, Warren and Stuart Watson here to break down Town's 2-2 draw with Barnsley. Normally we discuss the game and then get into Kieran McKenna's comments a little bit later, but I think probably should just jump straight to what the managers had to say after this game today. And quite clearly some frustration, anger, disappointment at a feeling that the referee has ultimately taken 2 points from Ipswich Town today. That isn't the full story of the game, no. Far from it, but it's certainly a pretty big talking point.
There are some other layers to the frustration of Ipswich not getting all 3 points today, which we will have to address, but we'll start with the obvious, which is the disallowed goal, which if that goes in, Ipswich go on to win the game, no doubt about it. Sam Morsey's just put Ipswich Town in front in the 70th minute. 2 minutes later, Marcus Harness has the ball in the back of the net. I'll be honest, I didn't see it live at the time. I don't think either of us did. We both looked up to see Marcus Harness kind of putting the ball in on the stretch. We've just seen the replay back. For the life of me, cannot see how that goal is disallowed. He just kind of hustles his way between 2 defenders. If anything, he's fouled as he puts the ball in the net on the stretch. But referee Stephen Martin deems to rule it out. And Barnsley go and get another quick-fire equaliser, as they had done in the first half, and the game finishes 2-2. And Kieran McKenna has not held back in his post-match press conference.
No, very, very, very calm, but equally as firm in what he was saying, in that not just addressing the standard of the refereeing today, but the standard of refereeing across League One, and something that he feels very firmly needs to be addressed, and very firm in his assessment that actually he thinks the officials have cost Ipswich 2 points today, not just in that decision but in some other funny decisions that he saw throughout the game.
Yeah, he felt Ipswich should have had a penalty just before half time when Leif Davies appeared to be fouled. I didn't know if that was inside or outside the box at the time, but he just said a series of bizarre decisions from the referee, who he felt wanted to put himself at the centre of the action today, was a bit too quick to make big decisions. And he's talked about Ipswich needing experienced referees to come here and take on big occasions in front of another big crowd today of 25,000. I don't know if he's aware, but this wasn't an inexperienced referee. Stephen Martin has refereed, I think, 170 odd championship games. He's been an EFL referee for more than a decade. So it doesn't quite fit with what Kieran McKenna's saying about we need experienced referees to take on these bigger games. But yeah, he spoke as if a man who's maybe been biting his tongue about the standard of refereeing in League One since he's taken this job. Today he's finally decided to go down the Nigel Pearson route. Recently, who's kind of had a similar view that the standard of refereeing needs to improve.
Yeah, I think that we've all seen throughout Town's time in League One that there's been some unusual decisions and inconsistencies from referees across Town's 3 and a bit years in this division. But that is only one of the frustrations for today, and that is allowing 2 leads to slip, which is a bit of a throwback to last August, and also the manner of the 2 goals that Town conceded this afternoon. 2 free headers from balls into the box, which I've only seen one of them back. The second one, the Callum Styles' second goal, and he just was not picked up by anybody. He's got the freedom to walk essentially from the edge of the box to the penalty spot, and there's nobody with him. And Michael Duff after the game was joking about his 2 players with a combined height of 4 foot scoring 2 headers. So frustrating.
Yeah, and Ipswich need to take ownership of that side of things today, putting the referee to one side. McKenna was more disappointed with the first goal, actually. He says it's a second phase ball into the box. I think a free kick had cannoned into the wall. Ipswich weren't happy about that free kick as well, given for a handball against Lee Evans. And it's a stooping header at the far post. Ipswich needed to be more aggressive at attacking that one. The second one, as you say, is a corner unmarked. McKenna talked about him being the blocker and probably not expecting it to come to him, and it's a good header, but again, Ipswich have to do much better there. So to have taken the lead twice in this game, and for the leads both times to have lasted 5 minutes each time, is frustrating, because I didn't think as an overall performance Ipswich were bang at it today. It certainly was nowhere near the levels of the MK Dons game last time out here. The intensity wasn't wasn't quite there. Different type of opposition. MK Dons came here to play, perhaps a little bit suicidally, played into Ipswich's hands. Barnsley, under Michael Duff, who parked the bus here with Cheltenham last season, they were organised, they sat deep. At times it was a back five with a bank of four sat in front of them, and Ipswich struggled to break down that red wall at times, didn't they? But to have got the lead twice in this game feels a little bit like a missed opportunity for another 3 points.
Yeah, definitely. The thing with this Ipswich team is that you do feel that if they can get in front, they can begin to control a game. So to do those things twice with two really nice goals, we'll talk about them in a minute, but to do that twice and then allow the opposition back into a game that, you're right, had they gone 3-1 up as they should have done, there was no way this game was ending anywhere other than an Ipswich victory. So very, very frustrating. But they did score two really nice goals. They've only added up to a point at this point, but brilliant free kick from Connor Chaplin, really nice. And then a nice second goal team move as well, but I don't think Barnsley will be overly happy with that one, if I'm honest. I thought they stood off Wes Burns far too much, distracted by Janoy Donasian a little bit. But there you go, all adds up to a point.
Yeah, pushed hard for the winner at the end, didn't they? We had 8 minutes added on. It was a bit of stop-start time, lots of substitutions. Barnsley took their time over a couple of injuries and things like that. 8 minutes added on. Edmondson heads against the post at a corner. Kane Vincent-Young forces a really good save from a header near the penalty spot. Aluko has one blocked by a defender on the line right at the death. So they gave it a really good go at the end, Ipswich, but wasn't to be today. We can look at positives and negatives. They're off the top spot, but ultimately the unbeaten start to this league season extends to 6. Next up, we got some Papa John's Trophy action. That's the competition that you love so much. So we've got Northampton at home here on Tuesday night. I'm sure we'll see lots of different players involved in that one. Maybe a debut for Keogh and Dominic Ball as well. A couple of debuts in that one. So yeah, we'll be back to speak to them.